In volleyball is setter and right setter are on the right side of the court. Setter is right here in the right back, and right side is in the front row ready to block. Defensive base for middle is middle blocker and deep middle back. Defensive base for outside is left back and left front ready to block. Blockers are inside, they're not by the antennas. These two are 4 feet off the 10-foot line and 4 feet in. This person is 1 foot off the baseline. Now, when we start the game, we don't want all of our players next to each other that play the same position. If you look, I just moved them. The setter is opposite the right side. The outside is opposite the other outside. And the middle is opposite the other middle. Now, if these people rotate this way, when they move, they will always be directly across from each other or in front of each other. We always move around the setter. So the setter in the first rotation, when we are on serve receive, which means the other team is serving at us, the setter pushes up the outside. The setter has to be behind her, up in the corner. Now we have a big hole right here. So we will have to slide our middle over. She's still in the back middle. And slide our outside over for serve receive and pull our middle off the net. She has to be in front of these two players. This player will slide back right here. They will serve at us. And as soon as they serve, we will go back to our defensive base. As soon as they serve, setter will go here. The outside will get off to the 10-foot line. This person will go here. This person will come here. These three players will hit the ball. As soon as we hit the ball back over the net, we will switch to the original defensive base we saw. Meaning, outside will switch over here, right side will switch over here, setter will come back to her base, middle will stay at middle, middle will go deep, outside will go. See how we have 3 people in the front and a triangle in the back? When we serve in this same rotation, the setter would be our server. In this rotation, the right side and outside will have to switch at the middle. They cannot overlap the middle player. This outside would go up to her defensive base right before the serve is even served. Middle would stay at hers. As soon as the server would touch the ball, it would switch. And the setter would go right into her base. That is rotation number 1, serve, receive, and service. Now we rotate one. I've moved now setter to back, middle. Outside is here, her opposite is there. Middle's here, her opposite is here. Right side is here, setter is here. We are now going to serve receive the first ball with setter in the middle back. Setter will need to push up. She is pushing up her opposite in this position. So setter pushes up right side, and she cannot be in front of her. Now we have a big hole right here. How are we going to fill it? Well, we're going to move the outside in. We're going to move the middle in. And we're going to pull this middle off the net. And we're going to pull this outside off the net. And we're going to make a little cup around here. Now, this middle cannot be behind this outside. This outside cannot be behind this middle because these 3 players, this player is in between these people. She is in the middle back position. She can overlap these 2 players because they are not directly next to her in the rotation. She is right here in between these 2 in the back row. So we make a little cup around the setter when she's pushing up middle. Now, these 2 players are our back row players. So what would happen is they will serve. One of these people will pass. Our setter will shift here. Our right side will pull off the net. Our middle will hit there, and our outside will hit here. On the first ball, we don't have time to switch to our position. So In this rotation, she'll hit here, she'll hit here, she'll hit here. When the ball goes over the net, outside switches to her base, middle switches to her base, this middle switches to her base, she switches to her base, and this setter switches back to right back. And notice how we are in blue, yellow, and red. We are directly in front of or behind the player that plays our same position. Now we're going to serve in that same rotation. Our outside hitter is our server. She can serve anywhere behind the end line. Because she's out of bounds when she serves, our setter can overlap. She can go right to her base, and our middle back can go right to their base. Now, are these people in order in the front row? No, they're not. The middle and the right side. As soon as we contact the ball for service, the middle switches to here, she switches to here, and as soon as she serves, she will run in there. Notice how there's a triangle and 3 in the back, red, yellow, blue. We are always trying to get to this base. Now I have rotated us one more position. Notice the setter's in left back now. Setter's in left back, her opposite right side is in there, right here on the front row. We have outside and outside across from each other, and middles opposite one another. In this rotation, when the other team is serving the ball at us, we are having the setter, she's going to push up on this side now. Now we have a missing hole. We have to fill that hole in. So this outside is going to move here and not overlap that setter. This outside is going to pull back off the net, but be in front of this outside and this middle, and we're going to try and make a line. They just have to be a little bit in front of her with their feet. This right side will pull off the net. Now remember, she's still a front row player even though she's pulled off the net. So what happens is, as the server contacts the ball, the setter, this is the hardest one, they're going to run all the way over here to where they set from. The middle is going to get off the net, and the outside is going to get to the outside. Now, we play this ball out. Once they pass, they set to the setter, we have boom, hitter, 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 and they will all get to the net to hit. As soon as the ball goes back over the net, setter gets back to her base, middle gets to her base, outside gets to her base, and the outside would go here, and the middle would go here, and the right side would go here. Notice red is on this side, yellow's middle's in this side, and blue is back on that side. Now we are serving in that same rotation. Middle would be serving. In this rotation, she's opposite here. When she is serving, the only 2 people, right side's in her spot, these 2 people have to switch, and these 2 people have to switch. So they usually will line up right up here to get faster to their base because middle's going to run in right here. So as soon as our server contacts the ball, our outside's going there, our setter's going to her base there, and our outside's going here, and our middle's going here. And then our middle served, she ran into her spot. Notice how we're at our base, the triangle, blue, yellow, red. Now we rotate it again. Now you will notice now the setter rotated to the front row. Because she rotated to the front row, she is no longer a setter. She will become a right side. And this person that was in the right side will now become the setter. So now that same cycle repeats itself, just with different players. These are all the number 2 players. If you can repeat that pattern, you know rotation.